driver 1 moment before his engine crashed into it. The sudden darkness of the train, through the extinction of the lights, the screams for help, the sight of the dead bodies laid out on the embankment. I've worked myself up so much about this sermon that I have only to shut my eyes, actually to witness the scene myself. I seem to be standing by the obstruction, and to see the long train crashing down upon me when it is too late to do anything. I hope I am not exciting myself too much about it. It is already past 10, and I think I shall have a cup of hot cocoa quietly and go to bed. I notice that one of the illustrated papers in the reading room has a magnificent full-page illustration of the accident. I've often thought, by the way, of writing a little for the papers myself. I know I have some taste for the work, and I am inclined to think that I have some little gift also. The supplement to one's income would be useful. Sunday, October the 9th. I've just returned from church, exhausted. I preached over 40 minutes without the least sign of impatience from any of the congregation. No coughing or shuffling of the feet, or anything of the kind. In the vestry afterwards, Mr. Johnson, our senior church warden, took me aside and told me it was one of the strongest and most impressive addresses he had ever heard delivered from that pulpit. I hope I did not appear to be unduly pleased at this. One must not think of self in these matters, and I strive against it. I was a little surprised that after this special effort of mine, the vicar should have said nothing at all. He is not a small-minded man, and I cannot believe him to be actuated by jealousy. He spoke of the accident again, and said in what seemed to be a rather patronizing way that he was afraid I was letting it prey too much on my mind. I tried to be humble, and I think I can submit to a rebuke when it is deserved. But really, this is nonsense. I still picture to myself at times the man standing by the obstruction and watching the express coming towards him. But for the awful wickedness of it, it would be, in a way, a magnificent moment. He would have the thought that he, a weak man, could at his will check the rush of a train, hurl it over, twist and break the strong iron as if it were cardboard, and avenge himself on hundreds of people, and then have all the police in the country hunting for him, and in vain. Exhausted though I am afraid that I shall get no sleep tonight, until I have been out in the fresh air a little. The church was crowded and oppressively hot. The whole village is asleep, and no one will be any the wiser. I think I will get on my bicycle and ride down again to the place where the accident happened. It is within a quarter of an hour to midnight, and so Sunday is practically over. Besides, there are many very good men who do not consider that cycling on Sunday is wrong. Monday, October the 10th. Today I have been beset by a terrible and most extraordinary temptation. I thank God that I have wrestled against it successfully. But the fact that such a temptation could even occur to me appalls me. Tuesday, October the 11th. The vicar called this morning. He will take both sermons next Sunday. He said that I looked ill, and that he thought I had been overdoing it, and was in want of a holiday. I think he is right. He is really a very kind man. I shall go away next week. Again, all day long I have been subject to the same diabolical impulse. I was half tempted to speak to the vicar about it, but shame prevented me. I get but little sleep now at nights, and if I do sleep, I'm always haunted by the same dream. I see the lights of the express coming nearer and nearer. Wednesday, October the 12th. It is done now. It had to be done, and it was no good to contend against it. I believe that it must have been the will of God that I should do it, for ever since, the burden has been lifted from my mind, and I've been quite myself again. Late last night, or rather very early this morning, finding myself unable to sleep, I got up and went out. I did not take my bicycle. I ran.